Rather those in life and infirmities, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. Therefore I take pleasure in infirmity, in reproaches, in need, in persecution, in distresses. Why? Why, Paul? Why would you be willing to do that? Here's the answer. For Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. God may call some of you to suffer like few others. And if he does that, he says, I will be faithful to sustain you in that. Paul called some people to the ministry. Paul said many times, I've been called to be an apostle. God called some people to the ministry. And we need people from our church to go into the ministry. We need some of our teenagers and young adults, or even older adults, to hear God's call for the ministry. Because we need missionaries, we need pastors, we need pastors' wives, and they need to be coming from our type of churches. We don't want them to come from liberal churches that don't even believe in this book, do we? We don't want any preachers from there. And parents, those of you who have parents or parents of grandchildren, you ought to be praying, God, would you place a call upon my children's life? Give God first option. Now, he may not. He may have to do something else. But we need people to be called in the ministry. Paul said, I'm called to be an apostle. And if that's the case, then God will sustain them in that ministry. Whatever he called you to, he will help you. This is it. God's call is God's enablement. God's call is God's enablement. Some people who were called to positions of great influence, whether it be in business or government or education, he wants them to be in that position, and he will sustain them. And some people, though, he calls to a quiet place or a small place, because he wants their influence in that small place. So whatever God calls you to, a small place where you don't have any recognition, any pat on the back on this side of the planet of eternity, God keeps record of it. He will reward you accordingly. God's call is God's name. Look over in 1 Corinthians here in a second. Go to 1 Corinthians chapter 1. And notice what he says about his call. Whatever it is, whether it's ministry or suffering or a small place or positions of great influence or wealth or business or whatever, his call is for this purpose. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 26. He says, For you see your calling, brethren, that not many wise according to the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. But God has chosen the foolish things of the world to put to shame the wise. And God has chosen the weak things of the world to put to shame the things that are mighty. And the base things of the world and the things which are despised, God has chosen, and the things which are not to bring to nothing the things that are. Why? Why do you do all that? Different than the world thinking. Verse 29, that no flesh and glory in his presence. What's God calling you to do? Whatever it is, he will sustain you. He's faithful to do that as he promised. And then the last thing about faithfulness, God is faithful. This really is how I want to see Jesus. Jesus is the epitome of faithfulness. The word epitome. What is it? You know, the Bible says God is love. That's his makeup, his essence. He's love. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. That is he is the right way to heaven. He is the only way to heaven. He is the life. But Jesus is also faithfulness. He is the epitome of faithfulness. That means, you know the word personification? He's the personification. He is the embodiment. He is the archetype, which means the perfect model, the perfect standard of anything. He is the archetype of faithfulness. That means that Jesus has kept every promise he's ever made. Every single one. He has fulfilled every promise that he has made to you and to me. He's fulfilled every prophecy that the Bible predicted that he would fulfill. He has totally completed the will of God. He has finished the complete work that God gave him to do.